Okay, so we were here. Do you want to go through the rest of the PowerPoint or do we just want to start?
Just do the challenges, the mistakes to avoid.
Okay,
You want to split it up, Camille, or
sure, go for it. You start with the first three.
And
okay.
give us an intro because I'm going to edit this on our video, and so they'll get this as part of the full video. But I think I'm also going to send it out as here's our little 7-minute end of the thing. So give us an intro to why we're doing this now.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to the training tonight. We really enjoyed it. Despite all the technical difficulties, I think a lot of good came out of it. You guys had some great questions, some great comments. It was really, really nice to sit with you guys tonight and talk about the zones of regulation. Because we ran out of time, there were a few things that we did not get to, and we really wanted to make sure that you understood while using all that great information that we gave you, we don't want you to sabotage that by making some simple mistakes. So this video is going to be kind of the end of that presentation that we missed about the common mistakes that you need to avoid and maybe a little bit on the toolbox and stuff that we didn't hit. So Jennifer's going to start us off.
All right. There are common mistakes to avoid when we're utilizing these zones of regulation, and also when we're teaching them. We just have to be mindful of a lot of things when working with individuals. One common mistake is making green the good zone. That mistake is just simply treating the green zone as the only acceptable zone, and it's actually not, because all of them are acceptable and all of them are important. We want to emphasize on all zones and let that person know that all zones are okay and expected in different scenarios. And the next one is using zones for punishment. We absolutely cannot use a zone for punishment. That is a big, big mistake. When we tell them, you're in the red, go to timeout. The correct way would be, I see that you're in the red. Let's use our tools together to see if we can calm down. The third one is focusing on behavior instead of feelings. We mistake that with by saying, hey, stop that red zone behavior. Let's not do that to our kiddos. Correct way is we can say, your body seems to be in the red zone. And what are you feeling right now? All right, and Camille will give the last three.
Okay. Another one is rushing to implementation. You don't want to rush. You want to take time, like we talked about, all the different pieces of modeling it all the time, talking about one zone at a time, starting with the green zone. It takes months to build the literacy around this, and it's not going to happen instantly. You're not going to get instant mastery, so your kiddos are definitely not going to get instant mastery. And it's going to take time to build it into something where you can use it as a tool during meltdowns. And you shouldn't use it before they have it mastered. Because if you try to use it before they have it mastered, then it's gonna cause issues where they're gonna see you bring out the zones of regulation and they're gonna run the other way. And you're gonna have a really hard time ever bringing them back to the table.
Yeah.
You also want to ignoring the individual differences. This is going to work differently for each kid. What might work for one kid might not work for the other one. You might be on the green zone with one kid for 6 months, and another kid, you might be all the way to the red zone and using it in therapy by then. You got to make sure that you use it to support each one's needs, pace it out individually, and make sure that you understand what your kids' triggers are. Everyone's individual on this. And then adult dysregulation. You cannot co-regulate with someone if you're in the red zone and the yellow zone. I mean, to me, that's two girlfriends getting together mad at their husbands and now they need bail money. You can't regulate in the green zone, in the red zone or the yellow zone. You've got to prioritize your own zone first. It's not selfish, it's essential. You have to prioritize your own greenstone first. You've got to be monotone, match their energy, and stay within the green zone. And if you guys um, avoid these mistakes, it'll go a whole lot easier for you when you are working on the zones with your kiddos.
Yeah, Camille, I have a follow-up question for either both of you guys on the rushing implementation, because yeah, we just spent an hour and a half, and I know it was only an hour and a half, but one of the things that we said was you will have skills that you can take to work with you or to your family on Sunday night or Monday morning. And I believe that's a true statement. So what is our balance between what can we actually do tomorrow morning versus what are the things that might take longer that we need to be mindful of?
Tomorrow morning, I would say, and tonight, I would say the thing I would start doing is noticing my own emotions,
Mm-hmm.
noticing how I go, like keeping track of how I go throughout my day and naming those emotions, naming those zones before I did anything else. And then maybe if you work with kids during the data center, maybe jotting down what zones they're in, what feelings you're noticing for them so that you're getting real familiar with the zones yourself so that you understand where they're at, where you're at before you even start trying to implement or teach anything or even start modeling it. Take a week, get really familiar or more with your own emotions and the
Yeah.
people around you. And don't say, I think you're in the red zone. Just don't say it. Just write it down so that you have an idea of what the zones are. Get
Yeah.
really used to it. Kind of like some of your BCBAs on here, RBTs. The more you go through your curriculum, the more you read stuff, the more you see, even with your own families, you're like, that's this, that's that. But you're not going up to your family and saying those BCBA things out loud because they'd probably look at you like you're crazy. Just take some time to really learn it, really get
Uh,
familiar with it.
and a lot of self check-ins. I think we did send a self check-in sheet.
Mm-hmm.
I think self checking in will help you identify those things as well.
Yeah. Jennifer, you want to take the part about what things might take longer?
What might take longer is because again the concept of learning is gradually, and you can't do it all. You can't teach the concepts in 1 week. So I think the concepts themselves, them learning the different zones and identifying what the physical indicators is and the different emotions and things like that, will take a longer. The actual concepts of the zones will take a long time to learn.
That's great, you guys. Awesome. Anything else you want to share with our folks before we close out?
Happy zoning.
All right. Thank you.